Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Barbara and this is cycle mapping. I started mapping my cycle about 1.5 years ago consciously. I'm very aware of my cycle for many years, but this past 1.5 years I really dedicated to mapping my cycle so I could share not only my experience and my knowledge with others but myself, and to become more self-aware, self-confident and accepting of myself. This phase that I'm gonna be referring to today is Lutheal phase, and it's the longest phase that we go through in our cycle, and it's right after the ovulation and just before our menstruation. So it depends on the length of our cycle. It's very variable for everyone, of course. So it could be usually around 7 to 12 to even 14 days for some women. And the archetypes of this time of our phase is basically mother and a queen. And the mother is very nurturing, very loving, caring, of course, as mothers are usually. And the queen is queen. She's very self-aware, she's beautiful, she's very magnificent, and she can see very well what's working, what's not working, and she can point out what needs to be changed, what needs to be done. And the more we give ourselves the freedom and the space to really dive deep into those archetypes throughout our cycle, the happier we're gonna become. Because when we repress our needs and when we pretend that everything's fine, the more bitter and critical and passive-aggressive we can become. And because I'm trying to make this world a better place, and I'm trying to make my life better and easier and happier, I am sharing my experiences and all the information that I have with everyone through my channel as much as I can, because I feel that the knowledge is opening up possibilities, and when we have more possibilities and when we have more freedom to really utilize all we have, the better and just happier our life can become. And I really do believe that the more we give ourselves space to truly be authentic and really be aware of our own needs, the more effective we can truly fulfill our needs and also tell others how they can serve us or what they can do for us, how they can help us. We naturally wanted to help each other. That's a human nature. Human nature isn't to kill others and be nasty and to be really selfish and super unloving. Our nature is to love, to be loved, and to be seen and to see others. When I started mapping my cycle, I realized how loving that is for myself, because the more awareness I have, the more space I can give myself, and I can also ask for support others. And when I know myself, the more I can be also helpful to others, because I can be more compassionate, more loving and understanding. Everyone is going through phases, through cycles, and everybody is going through happier phases and unhappier and more difficult times. Those more difficult times are very transformative if we let them. It's really about the ability to be prepared. In nature, Lutheal phase would be represented by the fall, and we know that in the fall it's harvest time. We are harvesting everything that we seeded back in spring. And so if we gave ourselves space and time and nurturing and whatever we needed in the active follicular and ovulatory phase, the happier, more at ease we're gonna be during the luteal phase. What's also important to know is that during this time we are very focused on details, and our ability is heightened sensitivity to finish things and see what's not working and point out what needs to be changed, what needs to be done, which is very helpful. It's very important. but it's also important how we present it, how we share this information. And the more we repress ourselves and the more we are unhappy, the more passive aggressive we become in this time. And it's very unpleasant for us, ourselves, and to everybody around us. And they say that it's PMS, you know, premenstrual syndrome. That can also be not only uncomfortable mentally, but it can become very uncomfortable physically. And that's even harder to overcome. Everything is connected, and what we experience on physical level, we first experience on mental level. And the longer we suppress what we feel, how we feel, what we need, the more we experience pain, that it can become physical pain. And that's very unpleasant. Nobody wants that, right? Like, nobody wants pain. On the other hand, we can look at the pain as a great tool for us to move forward from the experiences or situation that is not pleasant, that is not comfortable, that is not nice. And it's kind of like pushing us into the direction of improvement and movement, just moving forward, some evolution. I really like a book by Clemens Kuby, and he's talking actually about the pain. He pointed it out in such a great way that everybody can understand, that I want to share with you now. He said, look, the pain is a great tool, because if we wouldn't have pain, if we wouldn't experience pain, for example, we would be cutting bread and all of a sudden we would cut a finger and we're like, ah, bummer, another finger's gone. You know, like if we wouldn't feel pain, we might cut off our hand and then it would be useless and we wouldn't be able to use our hand. That's not very comfortable and it's not very useful. But because we do experience pain and our body is so sensitive, even like with the slightest touch of something sharp that can penetrate our skin, we react so fast and we just like take away our hand so we don't cut ourselves or we don't really injure ourselves. And that's a great gift. Like, our body is so amazingly wise, and we can seek that wisdom and we can really listen to that wisdom. If we don't listen to the wisdom of our body, we're repressing it and repressing it, so the body has to come up with more painful and more alerting situations and information so it will be heard, which is unnecessary. It's happening a lot, but it's unnecessary. And the more we learn how to really listen to those small little tiny voices that, you know, our body is trying to speak to us, the easier our transformation will be, because we will not have to experience extreme pain and suffering and not nice feelings. Nobody really taught us how to communicate with ourselves, how to listen to ourselves, how to listen to others, how to truly communicate, and how to be aware of our needs and how to be loving towards ourselves. Most of us weren't taught that. That's just how it is. It's getting better with information, but it's still a long way to go. And that's why I'm making these videos, because I really truly want people to be happy. The happier I am myself, the more I really truly wish for everybody to be happy around me. Because it's not nice to look at people and see them suffer and to see them in pain, and there is not much I can do, really. Like, I cannot change how people feel for them. Only you have the power to change how you feel. Right now, you have everything that you need to be happy. The happiness is state of mind, truly. The problem is, the deeper we get into some really dark feelings and inevitably into depression, the more difficult it becomes to overcome that feeling of unsettledness, deep despair, and feeling that nothing matters, there is no way out from it, and there is nothing better in the future. That's super difficult to overcome, but it is possible, and sometimes we need help of others to kind of like, you know, slowly move forward with them, maybe hand in hand. Nobody can do it for us, but somebody can hold our hand while we're going through that process. And that's also very helpful when we allow others to help us, especially when we don't feel like we have that space or strength to do it ourselves. And once we get a little bit more strength, we can do it more and more, just step by step. Everybody is going through something difficult, and everybody has in the past, and it gives us a true meaning because we can overcome those difficult situations. And what is difficult for some doesn't have to be difficult for somebody else. That's not our place to judge what's difficult for somebody and what's not difficult for us. What is more important is to find love and find compassion and understanding for others, but we have to have compassion and understanding and love for ourselves first. We can only love others the way we love ourselves, or a little bit more, but that's it. Like, once I've heard, and I really like that comparison, is that it's with love, it's the same like if you have money. Let's say you have 10,000 and somebody needs 1 million. But you have only the 10,000. Can you give them the 1 million? No, you would have to give them some, like you would have to take some loan and then give them some loan. But that's not what you have. You have only the 10,000, right? So what you can give is the 10,000. You cannot give them 1 million. If they need 1 million, they have to go somewhere else. We have to stop pretending that we have more than we have. If we become truthful and if we are authentic and we are truthful to what we really are, who we are, what we need and what we can give and what we need to get, the more at ease we can be with ourselves and each other, because we're not going to be pretending that, oh, I'm going to love you so much, I'm going to love you more. We're trying to, basically lying to ourselves and others when we're trying to pretend that we can give more than we actually do have. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's only painful for ourselves and then for those around us when we're trying to do something that is not in the stock. The Lutheal phase is really helping us to have the reality check and be like, wait a minute, are you happy with what's going on? If you don't feel that passive aggressiveness, if you don't feel overwhelmed, if you don't feel like there is so much to do and you don't have enough time and how can you maintain and manage to do all of it, then you're not doing something right for yourself. You're overwhelming yourself and you're doing yourself a disservice. This phase is really inviting us to take a step back, be more in our feminine energy, and take things slower, with more ease, with more grace, with understanding and compassion and love, and be observant of what's happening, what's going on, and be truthful to ourselves, and try to be loving when we are sharing those uncomfortable feelings or what we don't see that works, and point out what needs to be changed, because it's important for the progress, but it's important also the way we share our discomfort and our hurts and our unhappiness. So that's it for today. I hope that I gave you some information or maybe something to think about. I post every Wednesday, twice a month in English, twice a month in Czech. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel. You can share it with others if you think that it could be useful to your friends or family members. And I'll see you at my next video. Have a beautiful day. See you next time. Bye.